There's another woman by the name of Kirsten Power. We have her picture there. Another evil, nasty woman. She wrote an op-ed in the USA Today. I was sexually assaulted and thought it was my fault. This woman, Kirsten Power, remember she used to date Anthony Weiner. Anthony Weiner! I rest my case.
Mars, like on Mars, gotta get to Mars. We must go to Mars. Mars, do you question Mars?
Whoa!
Mars, we must go to Mars.
When I was in high school, R. Kelly was pretty popular. And when that sex tape thing came out, I went to school with girls that said, well, he could pee on me. But the real issue that nobody is talking about.
Did you say me too?
No, like, but
You're like, girl, I know what you mean.
Can Joel moonwalk?
You know it, baby.
You know how to moonwalk?
It's in the genes.
Ain't my gene.
You can't moonwalk, what?
I never was able to do that. I tried. How come lesbians are so fat?
Because they're not
They're like
shallow.
real fat.
They're not shallow like you.
Right.
Beauty's on the inside.
They
Jesse.
so fat they make shadows. God forbid, but if I need a doctor right away, and the only doctor that's around is an affirmative action doctor, I'll take that affirmative action doctor and patch me up to kind of hold me together until I can get to the real doctor.
But if we give Donald Trump 8 years in the White House, he will forever and fundamentally alter the character of this nation, who we
thank
are.
God.
And I cannot stand by and watch that happen. That's why today I'm announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Beta! Beta male! Remember I had a challenge from 2 different guys about pumpkin pie? Because they know I don't like pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is an imitation of the real deal. It's not the real thing. It's like those guys that go to the bars now and they meet what they think is a woman. They get home and they find out it's a man.
That's funny.
So I was traumatized because when I was a little kid, I thought I was getting some sweet potato pie. I bit into it. It was pumpkin pie. I'm like, whoa, no. So I got to eat pumpkin pie. This is pumpkin pie. And pumpkin pie doesn't even look like real sweet potato pie. Because sweet potato pie is a little thicker in there. This look syrupy. This look like beta pie. And I know a lot of you guys like pumpkin pie, right?
Yes.
Guys and ladies.
Yeah, don't be talking crap about pumpkin pie.
Do I have to eat the whole thing or just taste it?
You gotta eat it.
So-
They said eat a piece.
Right. So, 1 piece. I'm suffering. I am truly suffering. For Bond. I got to wash down the pie. Forget the trauma. I am not a fan of pumpkin pie, and I don't care how much you put a gallon of whipped cream on it. It's not going to happen. It just ain't sweet potato. Joel, you like pumpkin pie?
I think that we came up with the idea that pumpkin pie was a transgender.
Sweet potato pie. Good. And candy yams.
And then you lick the plate when it's done.
Well, I don't lick the plate. I ain't no monkey. Stop monkeying around, boy. And the taste is still there. I gotta drink some Kool-Aid. Great call, Jay. Jay, you like pumpkin pie?
I do not like transgender pie, man. I'm not really into it.
Miss, do you have Tourette's?
I don't have Tourette's.
Why you come in and scream it out and carry on? Are you aware that you're doing it?
Oh, no, sorry.
Yes, calm down.
I'm James Hake of The Hake Report. Now on to the Jesse Lee Peterson.
He sounds like he's been captured by the Taliban. And like they're standing right near him and they gave him a letter he has to read. Hello, this is James Hake. He should twitch his eyes or something to give a clue that they're there.
Somebody in the chat said that. They're like, blink, James, so we can give us a signal.
He'll be back Sunday, though. The Hake Report, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. TheHakeReport.com. Check it out. It's an amazing show. Men who have sex with women prior to marriage cheats on them after marriage. And during the engagement, they can't help it because they're controlled by sex. Now, I don't know about your boyfriend. I don't know him. I haven't spoken to him as I'm aware of. But they will cheat on you because sex is the thing. It's a drug of choice. And after a while, your sex is not exciting enough, so they have to go get some new drugs, which is new women with sex.
I hear exactly what you're coming from, and I've dated those men, trust me.
Yeah.
But him and I are a little different. Sex is not the focus and has never been the focus of our relationship.
Well, then stop having sex and see what happens. Earl is out of Michigan. Earl, get it off your chest, sir.
Yes, Jesse.
Oh, Lord.
I was listening to Baby Hitler yesterday after your show, and just like you,
Who is Baby Hitler?
he claimed there's no police brutality, there's no racism, no anything like that because he say so.
Who is Baby Hitler? Who are you?
James Hake.
Oh, he's here, by the way, so he's listening to you. I'll be careful what I say to the hate report. But what did he say that's not true?
Not true. He said that basically he started to talk about police brutality as if it was non-existent.
There's no such thing as police brutality. That's a lie.
No, that's in your head. Just because you say it ain't doesn't mean it is not true.
And
you have no facts to back that up.
And just because you said it is, just because you said it's true doesn't make it true.
But I got facts.
No, you don't. You got lies.
What do you have?
I got the truth.
No, truth ain't just because you say it is.
The
you
truth.
got to produce evidence.
No, the truth.
Anybody can say he has the truth.
No, you don't have any evidence. You have lies.
No.
Yes.
Because you don't know what facts are. You don't know what evidence is. You think statements are just facts.
Do you operate?
Probably at age 2.
Earl, do you operate from facts or from the truth?
The truth. Facts are the evidence of the truth.
Do you operate from facts or from the truth?
They're not separated.
Earl, you're not answering my question.
One or the other.
Earl.
What do you operate from?
The truth. Do you operate from the truth?
You can't just say it's true because you say it. Produce evidence that it's true.
But the fact you have are lies.
No.
Earl, do you operate from facts or truth?
They're one and the same.
No, they're not the same.
Facts are.
They're not the same.
That things are true. Whatever you are.
You heard of the Wicked Witch of the West, Maxine Waters, with the low IQ? Right?
What about Maxine?
She is a witch with a low IQ.
You got the facts to back that up, right?
Yeah. Have you ever seen her?
And if you're lying, and
have you ever seen her, Earl? Have you ever seen her? Have you seen her?
I've seen her.
Tell me, have you seen her?
I've seen her.
Isn't she an evil witch? Oh, we got to impeach him.
No.
Yes,
now
he
you're
is.
talking crazy. That doesn't go to my point that there is police brutality.
It's not. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Huh?
That's a lie.
That's it?
That's
so
a lie.
Chicago pay between 2004 and 2014 or 16 almost $750 million in police brutality cases.
Because they are trying to appease black people. They're afraid of.
Shut up! You're just making up stuff.
They're afraid of.
You don't have a leg to stand on.
They're afraid of black people. That's why they paid it.
Those are excessive force cases, not police brutality cases.
They're
So you lying.
You're using the media's. You're using the media's emotional word.
What's the difference, Hank?
Your
It's
emotions.
not Hank. It's Hake.
Hank? What's the difference?
You're
Hank.
using a drama word.
Excessive force.
That's a stupid media word.
It's only for one or the other. They put them all together.
Excessive force is not necessarily brutality.
It's not brutality.
Thank you.
How come the decent blacks have never experienced police brutality?
Thank you.
Excessive force is brutality. What is brutality?
No, it's not.
So Earl, listen to
What
the
is
young.
brutality?
Earl, you're brutalizing me right now. you're black brutality.
Now you want to talk stupid and go down to foolishness.
Earl, listen to the young black male. Listen to Joel. What'd you say, Joel?
How come the decent blacks have never experienced black or police
You got
brutality?
to get to the mic.
And you got to fix your phone. I said, how come the decent blacks have never experienced police brutality?
How come the what kind of blacks?
The decent blacks.
Did you say Hebrew?
No, the decent.
The good blacks.
The good blacks.
Why is it that the good black people have not experienced this false lie of police brutality? You don't hear good
Well,
black.
That's a false accusation. You don't know who's good or bad.
Well, you don't hear
Somebody's
the.
brutalized when somebody get out the car, throw him to the ground. You don't know
Okay,
who's
well,
good or bad.
how come Jesse hasn't experienced it, and how come I haven't experienced it?
How come you haven't experienced it? Well,
Right.
they were folk hanged. Why weren't you hanged?
What?
Folk get hung because you didn't get hung?
What did he say?
There's other people's experiences that go way
Well,
beyond yours.
but my point is
You
that.
can't speak for everybody.
But my point
Your
is.
experiences don't cover.
But my
your
point is the
legitimate black
decent.
experiences.
But my point is, if you're decent, you wouldn't experience that. How come all the decent
Your point
blacks?
is what?
I said, how come all the decent blacks don't experience that?
No, that's just a statement you just made.
How come it's
without
always
any proof.
the? How come it's
Without
always the
any proof
ghetto,
or who
over the
didn't
top,
brutalize
dramatic
those blacks?
blacks?
You assume that only crooked people get brutalized. That's
It's always
not
the
true.
ghetto. There's always the
And they're
ghetto.
not, they don't get brutalized.
Huh?
It's always
And
the
they
ghetto.
don't get brutalized. That's a false
No, it's
statement.
not always the ghetto. It's not always the ghetto. You had
The ghetto.
You had,
Talking
what's
about
his
the
guy name?
ghetto.
James Blake, professional tennis player, got brutalized.
That don't mean he's not ghetto.
Was he ghetto?
Is he black?
What happened to him that you
Yes,
called
he's
so-called brutalized?
He was attacked by a cop outside a store.
He was-
outside the store while he was on the phone.
He wasn't just
He
attacked
was
by
on the
a cop.
ground.
Where is he
said
now?
Luckily, he didn't resist, but he might have been killed. But it was a
Earl.
He didn't resist like most blacks.
Earl, we got to go, but let me. Earl.
It was like an undercover cop.
Earl, are
You're
you
making up statements you have no idea.
Earl? Are you half deaf?
I said I can't hardly hear you.
Oh,
Hear you. Both of you, all three of y'all trying to talk at the
And
same time. Can barely hear you.
What's the bigger problem, police brutality or black brutality?
What's the bigger problem?
Yes.
They're not exclusive.
Huh?
One doesn't eliminate the other.
What's a bigger
Both of
problem?
them can be true.
What's a bigger problem?
You can have black brutality, black crime.
How come we never
and you
hear
can
about
have
it?
Police brutality. They don't eliminate each other.
I think they're just
Hey,
tired of
what
talking
about-
about it. Like, you know, they're in the
why
blacks
you
club.
don't? Why you never talk about black?
What about white on white crime?
Earl,
Did you ever
Earl.
say that?
Earl,
He didn't answer which
Earl,
one's bigger because he knows
why
which one's bigger.
you never talk about black on black brutality, black on white brutality?
Why you never talk about white brutality?
Why you never talk about it, Earl?
Why you never talk about? All you talk about is black.
Because there is no white brutality.
Yes, there is.
No, it's not.
87% of black crime is done by white folks.
No,
Did you know
black
that?
people are attacking white folks, man.
Did you know that?
What?
87% of crime is caused white-on-white crime is by whites.
How much?
87%.
Oh.
Stop proving you're full of crap. And you have no defense for it. When you got a white wing type of mentality,
And you got the wrong wing mentality.
yeah, you just stupid, man. You just got to
Earl.
have Hank. Go ahead.
Earl, listen to this. This is from the Bible Go-To Guy, and the Bible Go-To Guy is a white guy. Are you familiar with the Bible Go-To Guy?
I hear you talking about him every now and then.
He said, black men are more likely to kill a police officer than the other way around. Do you agree with that?
No.
It's not
He
true.
has no facts to back that up.
That is a fact.
That is
Those
a
are
fact.
facts.
He has no facts to back that up. Police brutality doesn't have to be when a black man attacks a white cop or something. That's stupid. That's something just made up.
No, Earl, it's not. But I got to run. Earl, have a good weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate your call, buddy.
All right.
All right. Amazing. Super chats.
Giovanni A. Earl Dunn earned himself a spot on Savage Moment.
That's for sure.
Jesse, one day you will win Earl to the right side.
He's on his way. I can see him now.
Luis Cortez, do you know Earl going to be on the next Get a Job vid?
Oh, he's going to be on the next Get a Job, man. Check out the Get a Jobs. They're amazing.
Thief in...
Travis is here. He's one of the producers of the Father State.tv. He has on a brand new shirt, right? Tell us about your shirt, man.
Yeah, that's right. Right now I'm sporting the new Fallen State Mamma Mia Mariachi t-shirt. Check it out.
Mamma Mia, hola. Si, senor, 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 si.
And you got to keep in mind, this is a prototype.
Yeah.
So the actual one has a lighter skin tone on Jesse's face.
I mean, it's black as the ace of space.
You look like a grape.
His name is William F. Weld. Formally announced on Monday, that he was running for president, making him the first Republican candidate to launch a primary challenge against the Great White Hope. In a statement, Weld, 73, said, the voices of American people are being ignored and our nation is suffering. So I'm wondering, is he smoking too much pot? Okay, go ahead, Jacob.
Well, Jesse, I'm trying to not be a beta male anymore. Today's my big day. I'm going on my first ever date. I was hoping for some advice.
You're going on your first date today?
Yep.
You've never dated before in your life?
Nope.
How old are you?
23.
And what's wrong with you that you've never had a date until now? Are you an incel?
To be honest with I never called myself one, Jesse, but you know what? About 2 months ago, I saw your interview with Destiny. That was the first time I ever saw you. And I said, holy crap, that could be me, you know? So I decided to change my life around that time.
Mike Young, Jimmy Kimmel is for the illegal alien dreamers. Will you consider debating him about immigration? And I wonder if he will get the chicken song.
I would debate anybody at any time, anywhere, anyhow, anywho, any whatever concerning the illegal aliens. A woman by the name of Alyssa Milano went to the Georgia courthouse to argue with a lawmaker.
These are the men that are voting on what goes on inside my uterus. This guy right here.
It's not.
This guy.
You don't even live there. Mental issues.
What district of Georgia are you from?
I work in Georgia.
You vote in Georgia?
I don't vote in Georgia,
I was
but
just
there's
wondering what district you were from.
there's 30 people outside that do vote in Georgia that I was going to escort in.
But you don't vote in Georgia?
Excuse me, don't interrupt me. That I was going to escort in, that they wouldn't let me escort in.
So
if you'd
that's
like, I could bring
no,
them.
you don't vote in Georgia.
No, but
Thank you, sir. Finally, an alpha male dealing with women the way men should. Alyssa Milano, a liberal, nasty, evil, dirty woman. And she also has Trump derangement syndrome.
Well, why is 25 like the age to do it, or why do you feel 25 is the age to do
Well,
it?
at that time, 25 was like a mature age. Because you're 18, you're out of school, you get a job, you save up a little money, and then by 25, you were considered to be old enough to buy a house, get married, start your family. But I think it's older now. It's like 90. Because most guys still live with the mothers.
Tater Flaps says, Jesse, the plantation owner where my great-great-granddaddy worked, had a wife of 14 years older than him. The workers called him Master Beta. Oh, jeez.
I'm going to get to your calls in a minute. Here I have with me Dr. Bandy Lee. She is a forensic psychiatrist at Yale School of Medicine, expert on violence prevention for the UN's World Health Organization, editor of The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump, and president of the World's Mental Health Coalition. Dr. Lee, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
I really appreciate this.
I have developed a great affinity with the Black American population, and actually have gone as far as Africa in search of my roots.
You were the editor of a book called The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump, which is a book of essays that examine Trump's mental health. Explain to us what this book is all about.
Do we have a duty to warn about a dangerous president? Was the question we posed, and the answer came out yes. So we decided to put our analyses together in a book.
Have you ever examined the president?
None of us have, but there is a lot that we can tell outside of an examination, and dangerousness is one of them.
Is it unethical for professionals to give opinion about someone without examining them?
That is what we were disputing at the conference. And when you're asked about a public figure, you should educate the public about the public figure in general terms, but just do not diagnose.
Did you vote for Hillary?
I did vote for Hillary.
Amazing. And so now that the president has been there for nearly 3 years, what has he done to indicate that he has or possibly has mental health issues?
Well, he has shown numerous signs from the start, but as I have said...
Like what, for an example? Give me an example. I'm black and I'm slow. Give me an example or something that he has done to indicate that he has potential mental health issues.
So my main concern was dangerousness, specific symptoms that make one dangerous.
But what has to... Give me something that the president did to indicate that he has mental issues.
Those include impulsivity, like tweeting out policies without consulting anybody. That's an example of impulsivity. He's often
But
reckless.
if he didn't tweet out, we wouldn't know the truth because the media lie to the people. Otherwise, we wouldn't know the truth. And so is it mental illness to tweet out the truth?
It's tweeting out simply what the first thing that comes to one's mind is actually more on the impulsive side.
So all the young people are mentally ill then, right? Because they live on Twitter.
Oh, actually, yes, young people are impulsive, but they are naturally impulsive.
So are they mentally ill?
That's a normal stage of development when one is an adolescent, but it is abnormal and a symptom of illness when an adult does it.
Amazing. And so you remember Barack Obama, right?
I'm sorry?
You remember Barack Obama, the black guy that was the president? When he used Twitter in order to help win the election and lied to the people, Did that indicate that Obama was mentally ill as well?
We look at patterns rather than single instances, and so he didn't show enough of a pattern to raise alarm.
How about when he lied after lie after lie about
The same thing. Again, it's about pattern. He may have said, a number of lies, but it didn't rise above the level of normal politician lying, perhaps. So you look at
but
what is normal.
Again, I'm black and I'm slow, but did that indicate that Obama was mentally ill as well? When he lied after lie after lie after lie.
It didn't rise to the level. The pattern was not severe enough to raise alarms.
Amazing. The media lie to the people, especially liberal media, day after day after day. Are they doing that because they are mentally ill, deceiving the people? The Democratic Party, the right-wing Republicans, are they deceiving the people because they're? And I really appreciate you being here. Are they deceiving the people because they are mentally ill?
Now the media. What happens is that when you have a president with mental impairment, it trickles down to the population. In fact, even if members of the population do not have a diagnosable mental disorder, they will take on, for example, delusions and symptoms of mental illness when we have a leader who is...
So are you saying that the liberal media is mentally ill because of President Trump?
They show symptoms and signs of illness, but it's actually not an illness.
So you blame President Trump for the mental illness of the liberal media?
I'm not sure what you're referring to by
you said that the liberal media is mentally ill because of President Trump, right?
When you have a mentally ill patient and they go untreated and they stay in a family of healthy individuals, it's not the mentally ill person who becomes healthy, but rather the healthy members around the mentally ill person who take on symptoms of mental illness. And it's almost as if they have a mental illness themselves. And it's a very dramatic phenomenon. And it's called shared psychosis. It's a real condition.
So I agree with you that the media is mentally ill. I absolutely agree with that.
Here's the treatment. When you extract the mentally ill person from the family, the healthy people return to normal. But without intervention, leaving them simply exposed to the pathology, yes. And we're seeing some of that in our population. Much of the population is beguiled by this president.
So let me ask, this is so interesting to me. Mamma mia! But let me ask, over the last 3 years, more people working now, blacks, women, whites, everybody working. The economy is better. Cut back on taxes. We're safer in our country as a result of President Trump. Are those signs of a mentally ill person?
Recently, a report came out that Americans are the most stressed population in the world.
But let me just ask that question first. To be so successful at making the country great again in the last 3 years, is that a sign of mentally ill?
I'm not sure what you're referring to as success.
He cut back on taxes. More people are working now. He's getting black people out of prisons. We are safer from the enemy around the world. Is that a sign, that type of success, is that a sign of mental illness?
I think a lot of the things you're attributing to him are actually decades, and he's reaping some of the benefits.
You now have men taking off their male body parts and attaching women body parts and putting on dresses and acting like women. And you have women taking off women body parts and putting on men body parts and wearing men clothes and acting like men. Is that due to mental illness as well?
Well, that's somewhat a cultural phenomenon that may be in response to previous oppression and various notions about sexuality.
So is that cultural phenomenon happening due to mental illness?
I wouldn't call it a mental illness at this point.
Is it sane to do that to your body? To take off your God-given parts and put on fake parts and
For
pretend?
one thing is that our society is not healthy at this point.
Yeah.
So to respond in certain ways could be a response to that lack of health. It could be a corrective to the lack of health, or it could be a reflection of the lack of health. So I'm saying that one action is not ill or healthy, in a blanket way. We have to look at
So are you saying that the Great White Hope, the President Trump, are you saying that he's mentally ill for making society better, but the men and women who are taking off their body parts and pretending to be the opposite sex are not mentally ill? Transgender is not mental illness?
Again, I'm not going to comment on people who are having transgender operations because I have not examined them. I have not.
But you haven't examined the president either.
As much information as I do on Mr. Trump. So let's just stick with Mr. Trump.
But you have not examined the Great White Hope either. How could you make a decision about him? Would you like it if someone said...
It's about dangerousness, which is not a diagnosis, does not require an examination, and is actually more accurate from information outside of an examination. We recently did a mental health analysis of the Mueller report, and that
Oh, that's a good point. They lied and said the president colluded with Russia, and they screamed and yelled and carried on. They spent thousands of millions of dollars on this so-called investigation. They found out that nothing happened, and they won't admit that they're wrong. They won't apologize. Are they, Mueller and others, are they mentally ill?
So my concern is I have not examined any of them, and I do not have enough information on any of them. Again, I only have enough information about Mr. Trump.
Amazing. But why are you for instance, why haven't you examined those people? They were very public. They have been yelling and screaming for 3 years. They've been proven to be liars. Why haven't you noticed them?
Because my interest is on the effect of the president on society, which is currently a mental health crisis and a national emergency. We have requested that the president submit to a personal evaluation.
Amazing.
If he believes he is fit, he should submit to one.
Why should he prove that to anyone? Why should he have to prove his health or non-health issues to anyone? People don't go around proving.
He has shown enough signs of pathology for thousands of mental health professionals to be concerned, and we have been requesting a mental health exam. He has avoided it through fake exams.
Did Obama go through a mental health examination?
We are now asking that all presidential and vice presidential candidates undergo a
Did you ask that of Barack Obama?
We're asking of all.
I need a yes or no. Did you ask that of Barack Obama?
No, it was never a concern before Mr. Trump. We've never had such a mentally unstable president in most of our memory. And therefore, he has raised, that is perhaps one contribution he has made, in that he has raised the importance of mental stability and acuity in an important office such as the president's. And we are requiring that from now on of everybody.
But it's not true that it wasn't asked before, because they asked that of another Republican president who lost as a result of that. We just talked about him. What was his name again? Goldberg? Goldwater? We asked that of, you guys asked that of Goldwater.
Yes,
so it has been asked of another. Well, why wasn't it was asked of Goldwater?
It would have been good if they had asked for one, because I believe that he would have passed.
Who, Obama?
Obama, I think he would have passed. Mr. Trump, I sincerely doubt he would be able to, and that's why he's avoiding one.
There are women who are killing their children inside of their wombs. Is that mental illness, to kill unborn children? Is that mental illness?
It could be. It may not be.
But so these women may be mentally ill for killing their children inside their wombs by way of abortion?
perhaps you're listening to Mr. Trump's rhetoric more than listening to the facts.
But my question is, because you're a mental health expert, these women who are killing their children in their wombs, is that due to mental illness that they're willing to kill children in the womb? And even after the baby is born, is that due to mental illness? I just need I'm black, I'm slow, and I need an answer to that. You're an expert. Is that due to mental illness?
You're not slow, but I think you have a mistaken notion of mental illness.
That's why I'm asking you. Is that due?
It's something that cannot be answered in a yes or no. It requires an examination in this case because there's not enough public data.
How much do you need?
Again, I would like to stick with Mr. Trump, which is, I believe, the reason you're interviewing me for.
Okay, concerning the president, so you won't answer that, but concerning the president, this woman, Maxine Waters, out of California, a Democrat, she not only wanted impeachment, but she called for the violence of Trump supporters when you run into them in a cafe or something like that. Is Maxine Waters mentally ill as well?
Again, I don't have enough information on Ms. Waters. I would like to stick with Mr. Trump, please.
So you have never personally examined the Great White Hope, President Donald Trump, and you have a mental illness mentality about him, when you have the crazy people out there dressing like women and dressing like men and encouraging violence.
They're not a danger to society in the way that Mr. Trump is. If he feels that he is fit for the presidency, he should be able to submit to an examination and pass it.
In closing, why would a man like the Great White Hope, President Trump, submit to a bunch of people who don't like him because he's a white, conservative, Christian male of power and making the country great again, when you got a bunch of liberal intellectuals who don't like him? Why would he submit to his enemies?
We would like him to receive the proper care. I am Christian, and I am...
You a Christian?
Yes, I am.
And you support transgender and abortion and all that? How can you be a Christian and support evil?
I'm mainly concerned about our nation's safety and public health, as well as public mental health.
But you're not concerned you're not concerned as a Christian, you're not concerned about the soul of people who are destroying themselves by thinking that they're a man when they're a woman, or a woman when they're a man.
Of course I am.
And how about the unborn children?
Real concerns. Those are relatively small concerns compared to the much larger concern about human society and human civilization that is at stake.
Amazing.
I'm Catholic, so I should be concerned about unborn babies.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
should.
a small concern over the numerous deaths that we are propagating. Do you think Jesus was liberal?
No. You about to make me cuss. No, he wasn't liberal. Do you? You think Jesus was a liberal?
Because you seem to be using the word liberal for people who are trying to be ethical or truthful.
But liberals are not ethical. That's why we have such a messed up world, because the conservatives...
How do you know liberals are not ethical? Have you examined all of them yourself?
Because I've never seen a liberal that stood up for anything that's right and that's good. So that's why...
So if you make such blanket generalizations, then you have to be concerned about being influenced by propaganda or...
by God. I'm being influenced by God. Does that count? Dr. Bandy Lee, thank you so much for coming on. That was fun. That was a nutcase right there.
Sup TV says, I spend 19 hours a day watching movies. Help me, Jesse.
Get a job. You know the Great White Hope?
Who?
The Great White Hope.
I don't even know what that. You know what
the president.
The Great White Hope is. The president?
Yeah.
Trump?
Uh-huh.
Fuck Donald Trump! Donald Trump.
Wow. Amazing. Do you love the president? You support him?
No,
You don't support the president?
no.
Why? Mamma mia.
I gotta go get a pastrami sandwich, man. I don't have time for this shit.
Oh, you know. What is Game of Thrones? Does that black stuff?
It's a TV series. No blacks in it.
They try to make the woman the queen.
Yeah.
You seen that, Joe?
Yeah, I see like the first episodes. The women are the queens and they rule the
Amazing.
area.
Beta!
Savage. King Cole. Savage.
A-hole.
Savage.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Savage.
Savage. Savage. Savage.
Savage.
Savage.
Savage. Savage.
James is here.
Savage.
Savage. Savage. Savage. Savage. Beta.
I'm just thinking out loud here. Shout out! Uniting the races with truth. I ate the pie. The wicked witch of the West with the low IQ. Instead of dividing them with lies. God took the spirit of anger away from me 30 years ago because I was a beta. The world is so interesting. One thing that's going to happen when you wake up, come out of that fallen state, the world going to be shocking to you. And what's going to be shocking about it, that you were in that mess and didn't realize it. And so if you have one little iota of anger, Satan is your daddy. Even while you hold the Bible in your hand and preach to Jesus. So, Joel, what happened this weekend? You jamming again? Somebody feeling good? What happened?
The slut walk.
Slut walk! We went to tell the people real fast about the slut walk.
Yeah, there was a slut walk hosted by Amber Rose.
How come we? Oh, there you go.
And there was a bunch of sluts.
Do you know what a coon is?
Yeah, I have a train, a coon train.
I've seen a coon train, but do you know what that is? Because I was trying to figure out what it was and I couldn't think of it.
No, I don't know what it is. All I know is I heard the name and I seen the train.
You put two and two together and say, okay.
Must not be good.
What's the difference, Hank?
Amazing. A-hole.